There are 15 million restaurants on Earth. Only 157 of them hold 3 Michelin stars. The chef behind each one spent 15 to 20 years climbing a ladder that destroys most people who attempt it. The industry that feeds everyone runs on 75% annual turnover and $17.70 median hourly pay. The Michelin Guide was created in 1900 by a tire company to sell more tires. Today, its anonymous inspectors eat 250 meals a year to decide your fate. One lost star can collapse your revenue by 76%. This is every level of that climb. If you like breakdowns of how careers actually progress, like and subscribe. That's what this channel is all about. Level 1. The Culinary Student. $38, $670 per year. That is the tuition at the Culinary Institute of America. You are 18. You have $165,000 in student loans ahead of you. The 4-year graduation rate at the CIA is 46%. Less than half your class will finish. 6 years after enrollment, the median graduate earns $35, $700. Before you get a paid job, there is the stage, pronounced stage. You work for free, 12-hour days, peeling, cleaning, watching. Mugaritz in Spain gets 500 applicants for 30 unpaid spots. The Department of Labor has called it illegal. Every starred kitchen still runs them. Thomas Keller never attended culinary school. He built his entire education through stages at Taillevent, Le Pré Catalan, and Guy Savoy. Granta Chotz did 4 years under Keller at the French Laundry. René Redzepi staged at the French Laundry before founding Noma. The pipeline is real, and it is unpaid. Your days run from 6 a.m. to midnight. You learn the mother sauces before you touch a stove. Bechamel, velouté, espagnole, hollandaise, tomato. Every classical French technique traces back to Escoffier's brigade system from 1890. You practice Brunoise cuts until your fingers bleed through the bandages. Le Cordon Bleu's Paris campus charges $65,000 for 9 months. Johnson & Wales runs $44,000 a year. The budget option, Escoffier in Boulder, is $19,000. No matter what you pay, the median starting salary is the same, $35, $700. You graduate. 54% of your class did not. Your knife roll costs more than your first month's rent. You do a trail, a free audition shift at a restaurant in the city. The chef watches your mise en place, your speed, your cleanliness. 3 days of free labor before anyone says yes or no. The kitchen hierarchy is Escoffier's pyramid. At the bottom, commis. You chop, you clean, you follow orders. Above you, the chef de partie runs the station. Above them, the sous chef runs the floor. Above them, the executive chef runs the business. You are at the bottom of a system designed in 1890. Nothing has changed. You are in. $15.50 an hour. Level 2. The Line Cook. $37, $730 a year. $18.14 an hour. In New York, $47,000 if you are lucky. You arrive at 9 a.m. for prep. Washing, chopping, portioning. 6 hours of mise en place before a single ticket prints. By 5:30, the printer starts and does not stop until 11. The expediter calls the order. You respond, "Oui, chef." That is the only acceptable answer. The Brigade de Cuisine was designed by Auguste Escoffier at the Savoy Hotel in 1890. He served in the French army and transplanted military structure directly into the kitchen. 68% of fine dining kitchens still use it. You start at garde-manger or cold appetizers. The goal is saucier. That is the most respected station on the line. The turnover is brutal, 75% annual. The average restaurant employee lasts 110 days. The kitchen temperature hits 100 degrees during service. You work 60 hours a week with no overtime. You eat staff meals standing up in the hallway. This is the level where most people quit. Paris line cooks earn $25,000. London pays $28,000 to $35,000. Tokyo, $17,000 to $24,000. These are the culinary capitals of the world, and their cooks can barely afford rent. In New York, you share a studio with 2 other cooks. Your rent is $1.800 a month. Your take-home is $2.400. After 18 months, you move to Saucier. It is the station where careers start. The chef sees your reductions, your timing, your palate. You are not peeling potatoes anymore. You are building flavors that define the restaurant. The Sous chef starts giving you Friday nights, the busiest service of the week. The kitchen takes your body apart, burns at 7 times the national rate. You stand on concrete for 14 hours. The hood fans run at 93 decibels, above the hearing damage threshold. Your back locks up at 28. Your knees creak at 32. You cannot remember the last time you had dinner with a friend who does not work in food. Level 3. The Sous chef. $56,000 a year. Salaried, so every hour past 40 is free. You are the bridge between the chef's vision and the lion's execution. You run service. You step into any station when a cook falls behind. You handle the schedule, the inventory, the food orders. You manage up to the executive chef and down to a brigade of 12. The political game matters more than your cooking. 3/4 of Sous chefs got the job through a personal relationship with the executive chef. They follow chefs from restaurant to restaurant. Thomas Keller's kitchens produced Grant Achatz, Corey Lee, and René Redzepi. Daniel Boulud's line produced David Chang, Rich Teresi, and Mario Carboni. The real game is not what you cook, it is who you cook for. The executive chef is watching who stays late, who shows up when someone calls in sick, who takes responsibility when a dish goes wrong. The Sous chef who blames the line cook never becomes the executive chef. The one who says my mistake and fixes it, that is who gets the keys. The political game matters more than your cooking. 3/4 of Sous chefs got the job through a personal relationship with the executive chef. They follow chefs from restaurant to restaurant. Thomas Keller's kitchens produced Grant Achatz, Corey Lee, and René Redzepi. Daniel Boulud's line produced David Chang, Rich Teresi, and Mario Carbone. A Unite Union survey found almost half of London chefs work 48 to 60 hours per week. The real number is higher because nobody counts prep research at home. You design specials in your sleep. You wake up tasting sauces that do not exist. At 3 a.m., you text yourself an idea for a beet puree with black cardamom that will be forgotten by morning. The health data is devastating. A Unite Union survey found 69% of chefs say the workload damaged their health. An Italian study measured 66.4 hours per week average. Burnout rates run 30 to 60%. The food service industry has the highest rate of substance use of any profession in America, 19.1%. You are 30. You have worked 18,000 hours in kitchens. You are ready. Level 4. The executive chef. $87,000 to $181,000. You own the P&L now. Food cost target, 28 to 32% of revenue. Labor cost, 35 to 40% in fine dining. Your combined prime cost must stay under 65% or the restaurant dies. The average profit margin is 3 to 9%. A 2.3-point swing in labor cost is the difference between survival and closure. You write the menu. You source the ingredients. You negotiate with the fish guy at 5 a.m. at the Fulton Fish Market. Bluefin tuna belly costs $120 a pound. Your menu price cannot exceed 4 times ingredient cost, or the food cost math breaks. Every plate is an equation. Beauty divided by margin. You hire and fire. You set the culture. A toxic kitchen drives out talent. 80% of cooks who quit cite management as the reason. The old-school screaming brigade is dying. The chefs who keep staff now offer mental health days, family meal quality, and 4-day work weeks. Noma paid interns for the first time in 2022, the year before it closed. The Michelin inspector arrives without warning. You will not know their face. They book under false names. They eat 250 meals a year and they evaluate 5 things: quality of ingredients, mastery of technique, harmony of flavors, personality of the chef in the cuisine, and consistency. Service and decor do not count. Stars must be awarded unanimously. The distinction between executive chef and chef de cuisine is everything at the group level. Thomas Keller sets the creative vision but does not cook daily service. Each of his 10 restaurants has its own chef de cuisine. Daniel Boulud designed the menu at Restaurant Daniel. but Eddie LaRue climbed from cook to executive chef over 17 years to run it. 1 Michelin star. Revenue jumps 20% overnight, prices increase 14.8%, reservations fill 2 months out, staff expectations triple. You now serve 40 covers a night instead of 80. Each plate takes 22 minutes to build. Your food cost percentage barely moves, but your labor cost explodes because you need twice the hands. Level 5. The Starred Chef. The jump from 1 star to 2 means the guide considers your restaurant worth a detour. 3 stars means worth a special journey. Worldwide, there are roughly 100 one-star restaurants. Only 525 hold 2. Only 157 hold 3. You are trying to join 157 restaurants out of 15 million. A 3-star tasting menu averages $356 per person. The French Laundry charges $425 including gratuity. Osteria Francescana seats 28 guests per service. A Cornell study found nearly half of 2- and 3-star restaurants were not profitable. The math breaks at the top. Staff-to-guest ratios hit 2:1. Ingredient costs become astronomical. Many survive on wine markups and private events. The pressure to maintain breaks people. Kevin Thornton lost his Dublin star. Profits dropped 76% and he closed. Marco Pierre White retired at 38, returned all 3 of his stars, and said he was being judged by people with less knowledge than him. Sebastian Bra begged Michelin to remove his 3 stars. They honored it, then relisted him with 2 stars without consent. The annual re-evaluation never stops. Every plate you send out could be the one an inspector tastes. You run 300 services a year. 12,000 plates. 1 mediocre sauce on 1 Thursday in November, and a stranger in the corner writes it down. Marc Veyrot lost his 3rd star and sued Michelin. He claimed they confused cheddar for local cheese. He lost. Bernard Loiseau held 3 Michelin stars for 12 years. He was the first chef to list his company on the French stock exchange. When Gault Millau downgraded him from 19 to 17, his reservations collapsed 50% in 1 month. His debt reached €6 million. In February 2003, after presiding over the lunch service, he took his own life. He was 52. He still held all 3 stars. Level 6. The Empire Builder. Joel Robuchon held 32 simultaneous Michelin stars at his peak, more than any chef in history. He started as a pastry apprentice at 15. He earned 3 stars in 3 years at Jamin. He retired at 50. Came back at 58 with L'Atelier. Counter seating, open kitchens, no white tablecloths. It expanded to 14 countries. Gordon Ramsay runs 80+ restaurants. 7 Michelin stars. But his TV income, $45 to $60 million a year, dwarfs restaurant profits. He invested $100 million in Hexclad cookware. Net worth, $220 million. The restaurant is the credential. Media is the business. Alain Ducasse holds 21 career stars, operates 60+ restaurants, runs cooking schools on 3 continents. Thomas Keller runs 10 properties, 800 employees, and 7 Michelin stars, 3 at the French Laundry, 3 at Per Se. He is the only American-born chef to hold simultaneous 3-star ratings. He never went to culinary school. He built his entire education through stages. His alumni list reads like a hall of fame. Nobu Hospitality runs 56 restaurants worldwide with plans for 80 luxury hotels. Robert De Niro co-founded it. Revenue target, $1 billion. Jean-Georges Vongerichten oversees 60 restaurants across 12 countries. At this level, you are not a chef, you are a brand. The question is whether the brand survives without you in the kitchen. The final beat. 60% of chefs say the work damaged their mental health. 80% of hospitality workers report mental health issues from their jobs. The food service industry has the second highest rate of suicidal ideation at 5.7%. Female chef suicide rates are 3.9 times the average for all female workers. The physical toll is quantifiable. Restaurant workers get burns at 7 times the national rate. Kitchen noise averages 93 decibels above the hearing damage threshold. Chefs stand for 16 hours on concrete. Food service workers rank in the top 10 professions for divorce. Only 44% are confident they will retire comfortably. 60% of chefs say the work damaged their mental health. 80% of hospitality workers report mental health issues from their jobs. The food service industry has the second highest rate of suicidal ideation at 5.7%. Female chef suicide rates are 3.9 times the average for all female workers. René Redzepi built Noma, rated #1 in the world 5 times. In January 2023, he said the model was unsustainable, financially and emotionally. He closed the restaurant in 2024. Only 18% of restaurants offer a 401k. Only 14.4% provide health insurance. The chef who feeds 10,000 people a year eats staff meals standing up in a hallway. The ladder still stands. It just costs more than the enrollment form tells.